Shane Henderson, massage and movement therapist, and what I'm going to be going through today is some exercises that you can do when you're seated in a chair. So if you're at work, very simple exercises for the lower body, really. So we're going to start with pelvic tilts. So I'm going to do it from the side. And what I want you to start doing, so ideally this is how we sit on our sits bones, that are those bony little bones in our butt. So if we start in this position, which is neutral, I want you to tuck your pelvis under and then try and stick your butt out. Okay? So this is really just happening from here down at the most. And you may have more movement, you may have less movement. The key is just kind of tuning into where you are. Okay? So do that. It's a nice warm-up. 10 to 15 times. And then we're going to move into a full kind of cat-cow. So coming down. And now you're untucking like you did before to bring yourself up. So we're leading from the pelvis. We're tucking under and then going this way. And then we're untucking, bringing the butt to the back to try and extend the back up. So tucking under to curl down. And then untucking as a way to start extension in the lower body and move it up the body. So we'll do 2 more. Tucking under, curling down, and then untucking, so sticking those sticky bones to the back wall as best you can. That's a visualization. They're not going to do that because you're seated. Okay. I'm going to come back face forward, and what we're going to do here is maintain your seated position. Bring your toes up on your toes, then raise your toes up. So on your toes, on your heels. Toes, heels. What you want to watch out for is when you come on your toes, if you're pushing yourself back, as well as if you come up on your heels. So ideally, if I go to the side again, it's really just happening from here down. So I have a block right here. You can use anything. I'm going to start from the side. So I'm going to start with my right leg, which is the one facing the camera. I'm going to extend this leg straight. Again, I am in neutral pelvis, okay? So if you're in this way, in this position, see if you can bring yourself into a neutral pelvis. If you can't, try shifting to the edge of the seat, and that might give you a little bit more laxity, okay? If not, then you can bend this leg to get you into the neutral pelvis. And then what we're going to do is just take this leg and raise it up and over whatever object you might have. Okay? So again, as I raise the leg, I'm not moving back. I'm trying to maintain this. So I'm working through the hip flexors, which aren't getting a lot of work done when you're just seated, right? They just stay there tight and they don't get any sort of movement or activation. So you would do that 10 times, and then I'll come forward so you can see what it looks like on the other leg from the front. So my toes are up. If you point your toes forward, it may be a little bit easier on the hamstring tension. I like combining the two because it is active and okay, and then come back to neutral. For the next one, we are going to be at the edge of the chair. So, excuse me. we're going to be doing a squat. Getting up from this position. So what I want you to do is you're going to tilt forward at the pelvis, okay? We're not rounding forward. We're, again, tilting at the pelvis, bringing our weight. You want to be at the edge of the seat, so this is easier for you. Bringing your weight, pushing your weight into your feet, and coming up. Then slowly lowering back down to the seat, okay? So we're going to do this 10 times 2. So getting your bum off the edge of the seat. You're moving your body forward, pressing down into your feet to come up. So you can use your hands, oh, my head disappears, out in front of you. Trying as best you can not to use too much momentum. Okay, that was a poor one because I looked up. And really trying to come forward, push down through your feet, and come up. Okay? So you do that for 10 repetitions. And now we're just going to stretch some stuff out. So I'm sideways again. Again, I'm in neutral pelvis. I'm going to take this foot and drop it so I'm stretching the front of the lower leg. If you get a cramp in your foot, then just stop this one, and there's another video on foot tension. You don't need to see my other leg. Then we're going to do the hamstring stretch. So again, I'll do it side lying with the right leg. You're going to extend the leg out, come forward in the pelvis, okay? So again, we're not rounding down and reaching, but we're tilting at the pelvis to feel that stretch up the back of the leg. If this is too much tension, you can point the toes a little bit. That will take the pressure off of some of the lower fascia as well as the lower leg muscles. And then what I want you to do is just bend that knee and bring the toes towards you to engage a little bit more of the lower leg. I've maintained that neutral pelvis. Okay, come back up, release that leg, stretch the other one out. I'll go forward this time, and then come forward at the pelvis. Now notice too, I'm going straight forward. I'm not shifting my body to one side or the other. Again, if there's too much tension in your foot, you can drop down a little bit. So instead of having it flex up towards you, which is ideal, you can just let it relax down. But then when we bend our knee, I do want you to bring the toes up towards you. And then slowly come up. Bring your legs open in like a V-sit. Again, I'm on the edge of the chair. And you want to gauge, obviously, safety. You don't want to tip your chair while you're doing this. Bring your feet up and tilt forward at the pelvis. So from the side, again, I'm not going to be rounding down. I'm moving down through the pelvis. So my back and pelvis all remain as one neutral unit. Try and relax. If you feel like your quads are like tight and activated, just give them a little bit of a massage through. Come back up. And the last thing we're going to do is bring this leg a little bit out to like 45 degrees bent. Stretch this leg out long, and we're just going to do a little bit of a inner thigh and side body. So with this body, don't just collapse down. Think of yourself as like stretching out over a ball. This one's bent at 45 to your body. Stretch this one out. And again, don't just collapse. Reach and round out over that imaginary ball. You can play with your foot position. See where it feels a little bit sweeter or more restricted. Maybe there's somewhere you want to hang out longer. It's entirely up to you. Because everybody will have tension in different places and will feel good in different places. So that is a lower body seated workout.